Hi, my name is Cody Garrison, and I'm an engine builder out of Canyon Lake, California. And in the last few weeks, I've finished up this solid roller 383 stroker, and I'm going to go over it with you guys from top to bottom so you guys can see what other parts are on it. I'm just going to go ahead and start out and say that it's a custom grind Ed Iskydarian solid roller camshaft. So it is pushing some power. It's about a 630 lift. And let me show you what it's paired up with. That way you know it makes the power that I'm saying it does. So coming up, sitting on top, we're using a 650 CFM Edelbrock carburetor down to a dual plane intake manifold. It is an air gap. Sitting on top of the block is a pair of CNC ported Brodix IK215 cylinder heads with a 64cc combustion chamber and 215cc intake runners. It is paired with a 208 intake valve and a 1600 exhaust, and these heads are flowing very well, it seems like, for the initial braking that we've done. Coming down to the bottom end, it's a SCAT forged rotating assembly. It has a forged icon piston with a 6-inch forged rod coming down to a SCAT 900 series crankshaft. On the front of the engine, we have a double roller timing chain by Lunati, and coming over to the ignition, it's a HEI billet distributor, and it's doing really good. Coming over to the valve train, I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but it does have Scorpion 1:6:5 ratio aluminum roller rockers. So this engine is put together really well. All the hardware and gaskets that are paired with it are cosmetic or Felpro. It has used all ARP bolts for the cylinder heads, rotating assembly, and all the other things that are needed, the timing cover, all the little nooks and crannies that it needed to get it looking good. So we're going to go ahead and move some things around, and we're going to start this engine up for you guys so you can hear it. We're only going to run it for a little bit just so you guys can get an idea of what it's doing. This engine, the way I put it together in the specs, it should be around 490 to 510 horsepower. Maybe a little more, maybe a little less, but it's definitely pushing some good power. And especially with the dual plane intake manifold, the low end power and throttle response is crazy, and I'll demonstrate that right now. Okay, so we're gonna get this thing fired up right now for you guys. The engine is base tuned, the timing is set, with the timing light and everything else like that. I guess you guys can listen to her and see what you think. And so as you can see, the engine runs really great. We have the base tune. We only ran it for, 40 seconds because we don't have water hooked up. But the engine is performing beautifully. I've pulled the valve covers off. I've checked the lash twice now on each side, and hot and cold. After we've done the heat cycles with it, everything is tightened up and it's working good. So let me know what you guys think. And this thing's for sale. You guys can contact me on Instagram, that's Garrison's Engines, or you can contact me at 951-902-9080, or my email, codyg54 at outlook.com.